Today I'm going to start my dill pickle relish. I have my first onion braid up off of the hanger, and I have quite a few cucumbers. Here's how I cut my onions. So first I cut them in half and I nub the ends off, but then I go up through here, which you probably know. I learned this from my Aunt Sharon. You have to get them real close together. I know I don't have my hands in the right format, but I like my relish fairly small, and then I just start chucking it off. I'm crying here. These are garden onions, and they are making me think about things like politics. I have the onions in bags. I have cucumbers minced in bags, in a bag. And then I wanted colored peppers, as I said, but here's what I found. So one purple, this one was starting to change. It is the next morning, and I have, as you can see, about a gallon of diced cucumbers, about a third of that amount of diced onions, bell peppers, garlic, and all of that came from the garden, along with this dill I processed last year. Now I probably should have put it all into a bowl together to kind of meld last night, but I was busy. So I'm going to toss it all together today, and I'm going to let it set for a few hours. It takes a long time to make pickle relish, but it tastes so good. We love it. Garlic, just a second. A little spoon. That is elephant garlic, which I was happy to find the perfect use for. And I'm going to use all of my yellow mustard seeds. This came from the health food store. You can actually buy it in bulk pretty cheap. I've been surprised by how cheap bulk herbs are. And this is the dark brown mustard seed, which I love. I think it makes it look really pretty. And I'm going to put a whole bunch of this dill in. Maybe all of it. Try that. And a tablespoon of pepper. I like to use peppercorns in my pickles, but nobody wants a peppercorn on their hot dog. So I'm using pepper. And then I'm going to go ahead and put, this is the pickling salt, and I'm going to put that, just a tablespoon in here while it sits. I use the pickling salt because it's supposed to give it more clarity. Like if you use regular salt, it'll make it all look kind of, what's the word? Fuzzy. And then I'm just going to stir this together, and I'll show you after it's stirred. I have it pretty well mixed. Looks like there is mustard seed in every bite, and I like the color. Last year I just had green pepper, so this looks really nice. Now I will cover it and put it in the refrigerator for a few hours. Hi, it's been about 4 hours. I think this relish looks really great. This is my best ever. I like the chop. It's nice and small. I've had years where my chop wasn't very small and I just call it home style, but this is great. For my brine, I have 6 cups of apple cider vinegar, 8 cups of water, and a half cup of pickling salt. That's pretty strong, but I do my pickles that way too, and they're strong. I like them that way. So that's preparing. I know on pickle relish people put sugar in it, like my canning book has sugar in it, but I really like mine salty and not sweet. Then here is the canning, the canner, boiling water bath for 15 minutes. I will make half-pints in here because we go through about a half-pint whenever we have hot dogs. So good on hot dogs. My mom loves it on tuna and tuna salad. I also always put a tablespoon of white vinegar in the water because here in the Ozarks we have a lot of calcium in our water and it builds up on the outside of the jar, so it just keeps it prettier. I will double stack these. As you can see, I have one of these in the bottom. So I will stack, I think I can fit 11 half-pints in here. And then I will put this over the top and do 11 more for a total of 22. I hope I can get 22 out of this. We will see. And you can see the salt has made it lose a lot of moisture. I probably won't put that in, not on purpose anyway, but I'm not going to just strain it through a colander. But I'm real excited. We'll get started here in just a moment. I have all of my half-pints in the dishwasher right now. That just helps me make sure they're clean, although they were fairly clean, and it makes them pretty hot too. I have 22 jars. Oddly, that was what I was looking for. I did have 23, but I stuffed them and made 22 because I think that's what I can fit in my canner. You can see I can't fit very much of the brine, but I'm filling it pretty full with the brine because once I stab my little stabber in to get out the airspace, I think it will go down to normal. I have them filled. It didn't take much vinegar, brine, unfortunately, but I just use a napkin and wipe each lid off because if it gets a little bit of relish or anything on it, it won't seal. Now I have my lids warm, but not boiling. You don't have to do that anymore. And then I have my rings. I changed my mind on the second rack because it didn't cover them all. So I will set the timer for 15 minutes and then I'll let them rest in the water for an additional 5 and then I'll do the other batch. The 15-minute timer just went off, so I have turned it off and now I'll let it sit for 5 minutes. They are all out. These are still super hot. They haven't popped. Just beautiful. So the jars are sealed. Here are the labels. Here are the ones for regular mouth. They are 2-inch circles, as you can see here. And then for wide mouth, you want that 2.5-inch standard circle. And I guess you could make your own labels and print them, but I just always write them.